Good morning. I'm Superintendent for the Medford Area School District, Pat Sullivan. I'm here to give you an update of last night's school board meeting. The first thing we talked about was paying off our Wisconsin retirement liability. We are looking at taking $150,000 from our fund balance, and this will give us a payoff savings in the future. It will start about 10 years out, but it will save a lot of money for this district by doing it this way. It is something we have to pay off, and again, taking the money out of fund balance right now to help pay that off will give us a big savings starting about 10 years from now. So we did decide to do that. We also decided to move our January school board meeting to January 13th, and one of the reasons was we have to meet a deadline for this WRS payoff, and we have to meet again on this day to do that. And also, 4 of the school board members will be attending the state school board convention in Milwaukee later in the month. Again, that was another reason that we moved the January meeting to the 13th. Laura Lundy, our curriculum director, gave us a demonstration on flip cameras last night. We're buying a lot of these in the district, and we just wanted the board to see how they're used and just understand a little bit about that technology, and mainly because we are purchasing a number of them around the district. We had a discussion on developing a soccer field in Stetsonville. We did decide to do that. The soccer field will be built between the elementary school in Stetsonville and the trees that are behind that school. There's enough room in that area, and it's a nice flat space. We're going to be able to build a regulation-sized soccer field. Our soccer programs will still practice behind the elementary school in Medford, but all of the varsity games will be played out at Stetsonville starting in the fall. We're not able to play playoff games right now in Medford because that field is not regulation size, and we can't make it regulation size. Stetsonville gives us that opportunity, so our kids will be able to host, or our school will be able to host playoff games in the future. We had a lengthy discussion about our pool. Again, this is something that this board has talked about and this district has wrestled with for a number of years. It keeps coming back, but that deadline is really growing near. We really think that maybe we got one more year of patching the current pool. It gets to a point where the money we put into just getting it up and going for one more year starts to add up, and you have to decide whether you want to put a lot of money into the upgrade of it, thousands of dollars, or do you want to look at maybe building a new pool. So the school board did decide to look at this even more closely next month. They'd like some options. They'd like me to look into some options and bring them forward. And by options, I mean things like going to referendum to build a new pool, going to referendum to build a pool plus gymnasiums, maybe going to a referendum, not a binding referendum, but a referendum to find out if the community supports a new pool or not. We're going to start, again, really looking much closer at this than we have in the past, and a decision I really believe will be made sometime very soon on the future of the indoor pool for the Medford School District. We had our curriculum connection like we do every month. Laura Lundy, again, who is our curriculum director, present something from around the district that's going on, and she centered on our high school English program. She talked about a new strategy that's being met with great success at the high school on encouraging kids to read more. The big difference is, and what it boils down to, is we're giving kids an opportunity to choose what they'd like to read. In the past, a lot of English classes would have certain novels already selected before the year starts by the instructor. Everybody would read that same novel. This approach is giving kids themes, having them go out and find books that they like, things that they're interested in, and they read them, and they still have to report on them. The teachers are able to sit down with them and do verbal reports. They can use audio-visual technology to do their reports. There's a number of ways, but the bottom line, like I said, is kids choose the books that they want to read, and because of it, we're seeing the number of kids reading and the number of kids checking books out of our library those numbers have gone through the roof in comparison to past years. So kids are excited about reading, and we all know that's a good thing. Jeff Albers, our business manager, gave us a kind of a best case and a worst case scenario dealing with our budget. We're all, not just this district, but every district in the state, we're all waiting for Governor Walker and the Republicans to move in January and take control. And there's a lot of uncertainty out there. There's a lot of speculation. So what he did was he looked at, like I said, best case and worst case scenarios, and also warning the board that maybe anything that he showed them last night on paper, maybe none of that stuff ends up coming to fruition, and maybe something altogether different does. But we have to start looking at it. And the reality is we really don't know until probably October of 2011. That's when we start to know for sure. But we looked at, again, what could be maybe the worst case for our district, and then maybe what might be the best case. And again, we all know that there's going to be probably some trying times coming. We got to find a way to make the budget. So that'll be an ongoing discussion, and we'll keep an eye on it and keep you up to date. The last thing that we talked about was our WASB delegate resolutions. That'll take place at the state convention at the end of the month, end of January. And we just talked about some of those resolutions and how the board feels about those resolutions, because we will have a delegate, or we will have a board member representing us in voting. Last thing I want to mention is the next Coffee Clutch meeting will be at the Flame Restaurant on January 25th at 9 a.m. This is an opportunity for you to come, share with me thoughts, ask questions about the school district. I really hope to see you there, and I'll buy you coffee if you show up. Thanks, and have a great day.